All right, hello everybody. Steve Politti, NJ Advanced Media, Pat Lanny, Brian Fonseca, 98. I can't even say it in a score associated with Rutgers. 98-81 victory over the Monmouth Hawks, the most points in a game under Steve Peichel. Yeah, I mean it was Ace Bailey's debut, and that's what we're really talking about here. 17 points, 5 of 10 shooting, 6 rebounds. I mean, he had a couple plays, Pat, that you're like, yeah, that's the top 5 pick in the NBA draft.
Absolutely. The alley-oop off the inbounds pass, like his head was at the rim, if not above it, and you're like, this guy can jump out of the gym. There was another play, kind of a spin move into a jumper, looked very much like Kevin Durant, one of his iconic shots. So you saw a little bit of everything from the long-awaited debut of Ace Bailey. And obviously, like you said, did a little bit of everything. So it was well-rounded.
Yeah, and this is the vision for the program, Brian, having those two guys together in the court. Another 20-point performance for Dylan Harper. That's 3 for 3 in games, which is remarkable in itself. I mean, that's it. This is what you expected to see from this team, pieces forming around those guys. I get it, Monmouth is not a great team, but overall, it just gelled offensively.
Ho-hum, Dylan Harper, another 20-point game. Yes, but more encouraging. You know those guys are going to score a lot. That's, I don't want to say par for the course, but that's to be expected. Everyone else contributing. Zach Martini, 11 points on 4-4 shooting in the first half. Jordan Durkak passing the ball around like he's Jason Kidd. You know, Lathan Somerville at center, another positive offensive performance. The pieces around them, the supporting cast, as we lovingly call them, looked really good offensively. And again, is it because it's Monmouth or is it because they're improving game by game? We shall see. But that, to me, was the most encouraging thing. The least encouraging thing is that they gave up 51 points in the second half, and for spells defensively, it didn't look that great. And they gave up 38 points to one guy who has to be.
Give him credit. Yeah, good grief, right?
That's 2 games in a row, too, because it happened in the last game, too, right? He dropped 28, I think, in the last game. But, yeah, 2 games in a row, they let a score just go absolutely off. Mason Robinson, I think, in the last game. So, yeah, absolutely not good from a defensive perspective, especially with one guy kind of doing all the damage too. You think there'd be some sort of defensive clamps on that.
This is not the Steve Peichel team we have been accustomed to. Very advanced offensively, not quite there defensively. That's what kind of happens when you mishmash 9 new guys. But they're 3-0. The part that you trust Steve Peichel to fix is the one that he's going to have to fix. That's positive. And Ace Bailey's on the court. I don't know if he'll be back for Wednesday, given that he cramped and walked off the court the last 2 minutes of the game. It shouldn't be that bad. Steve Peichel indicated it wasn't that bad. And then you also have to see when Jeremiah Williams is coming back. But otherwise, pretty much a perfect night for Rutgers.
Yeah, still hasn't had their full rotation. I can't say enough about Jordan Durkak. And what you were wondering about this team, would they be able to find pieces around them? And you knew what some guys coming in here would do. Jordan Durkak's just doing whatever he needs to be tonight, passing the ball. I mean, defense, had a steal, half court, just a lot of things that you see from this guy. He just recognizes what the team needs at a certain moment and does it.
Durkak, to me, his game is about, I wrote this on last game, the pursuit of the intangibles.
That's
right?
There you go.
He does things that don't get a lot of attention, but they're the little things that win games. And it's clear that he's not just a defender. Obviously, he's a great defender, but it's the hustle. It's getting those jump balls. It's the way he boxes out, runs the court. And I think he's so good in transition, which is maybe the thing that's flying under the radar the most to me.
Jordan Durkak, it's unquantifiable, but to me, he's the guy that hustles the most and the most effectively. Maybe under Steve Peichel, Jacob Young's the only other guy I can think of who hustled and that actually resulted in results. He's playing great defensively. He's aggressive going to the basket, draws a lot of fouls. He's not a guy, I think Grace pointed this out, he's not going to take 7 shots a game, 10 shots a game. He takes a few shots and he does all the other little things you need. And when you have guys doing that, like Durkak, we have Martini hitting his open threes. When you have everyone else around these star players playing their role and doing what they have to do, that just makes this team so much better. And I think today was a great example of it, offensively at least.
Right. Yeah, and then there's Ace Bailey. It feels like you're watching, like you're staring into this. Like when he's on the court, you cannot not watch him. The best way you could describe him.
Yeah,
he's just that kind of talent. And some things he did, and I was trying to get, like Zach Martini had this great line. I was trying to describe the play to him where Ace Bailey gets the ball, the shot clock's running down, and he spins, hits a shot over a 6'9" guy, effortless little fadeaway. And Martini just said, I looked at one of my teammates and said, that's why he's the number 1 pick in the draft. Just a great, and that's it. You see moments like that where you're like, oh, that's it. That explains it.
No Rutgers player in recent memory can do something like that. 5 seconds left on the shot clock, and his teammates passed him the ball like it was a bomb. Here, do something with it. He dribbles once to his right, crosses over, takes one more step, fades away like he's Kobe Bryant, and the ball does not touch the rim, even in an iota, as the shot clock expires. Like, we have always been asking this for years. When is Rutgers going to have the guy where you can put the ball in his hands and say, do something? Rutgers has 2 of those guys now. They do it in different ways. Ace is a guy that does it around the perimeter. Dylan's going to barrel to the rim, and they can have 5 defenders there. The ball's either going in the basket or he's going to get fouled. That's a really, really, really good foundation for an offense that Rutgers has now.
All right, we've seen the 2-star freshman now lived up to the hype, exceeded the hype. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, I lived up to it, I think. Exceeded it would be hard to exceed it. The hype's pretty high. Lived up to it. Yeah.
I would agree. I mean, you can nitpick some things. I'm not going to do that on this episode. I think they've lived up to it by and large, and I think you have to feel encouraged that as the competition ramps up, these guys will ramp up with it. Yep. What about you, Pat?
No, same. Couldn't have said it any better, so send us home.
Signing off. These guys will be in Maryland for some football tomorrow. We'll be back to talk some basketball soon. Thanks.